Welcome to the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, where we don't give a damn about scripts or soft-ass storylines. This is where the truth gets body slammed and the bullshit gets buried. We're talking real heat, real talk, and the moments that made you jump off the damn couch and scream. Wrestling is F***kin wild again. From pipe bombs to shoot fights, botches to bloodbaths, we cover it all with the volume up. The gloves off. This ain't sports entertainment. This is a goddamn fight club with a podcast feed. So tag in, shut up and hold on, because we're coming in hot, stiff, and louder than a super kick in church. This is the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. Uncooked, uncorked, and censored. Let's again go.
What's up, everyone? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast.
We're ready to go.
He's the smoking Ant B, and I'm the hot commodity Ant C. And yes, we are ready to go. We are covering WWE Monday Night Raw from August 11th, 2025. They're still in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And CM Punk comes out to start Raw and says, "You make it hard for me to stay angry, Canada. I should be world champion, and I'm a little angry about it. I have a Seth Rollins problem. He is trying his best to be CM Punk, and he's failing miserably. I feel like I let you all down. If you thought I was obsessed with being a champion before, I promise I'm even more possessed. I don't hate the game, but I hate the player. You pretended to be injured and cashed in when the time was right, but you don't have to pretend to be injured because I'll break your legs myself." And then LA Knight comes out, and LA Knight says, "You deserve to have your rematch, but last week you got involved, and now I lost my shot. Wrong place, wrong time. We don't have a problem, though. I'm going to need to whip Seth Rollins' ass, but do it on your own time. Damn, my handwriting is so sloppy. He says you need to whip Seth Rollins' ass, but do it on your own time. And then LA Knight just basically says, "You should get your rematch, but after I get mine." Punk says, "You should be thanking me for stopping Seth Rollins from stomping your face into the mat." LA Knight says, "As good as you are, you ain't on my level." Punk says, "I'm the best in the world, yeah." And that's when Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed, and Bron Breakker come out. And Paul Heyman bitches about CM Punk and makes a tag match, Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed against Punk and LA Knight. LA says, "You don't talk for them, but you accept on their behalf." And then Bron tries to get into the ring and he yells, "Punk, you're 47, LA, you're 40. What are you really going to do to me?" And interesting open. CM Punk, got his points out, how he's mad, he wants to be champion. LA Knight thinks that Punk screwed him over and that, he has to wait in the back of the line. Punk is saying, "Well, I saved you here, so you should be thanking me." And then Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed just taunt them. So what'd you think of here?
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't crazy about this. First of all, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, he's trying to be me. Seth Rollins hates CM Punk. He's not trying to be anything like him at all. That's just retarded. That's just CM Punk thinking everybody wants to be him because he really believes he's the best in the world, which is a lie. And I think Bron Breakker made them feel really cheap when he was like, "Well, you guys are old. What are you going to do to me?" Because neither one of them are a threat to fucking Bron Breakker. And they're just falling into Seth Rollins into the palm of his hand. Like, they are so busy trying to one-up each other and have these egos that they can't even focus on Seth Rollins. So they're playing right into his trap.
Oh,
Sure.
Of course, definitely. Do you see, though, LA Knight as a main eventer, though, honestly?
Honestly, no. And he keeps trying, and it's just like, the man's been in for 3 years now, and I guarantee this year will be the same. He's in Money in the Bank every year, and he's just not ready for the push.
Money in the Bank happened.
I know, that's what I said. I mean, the next one coming.
Okay, sorry.
But he botches a lot, and I don't think he could carry the company. I would rather see Jey Uso as champion 100% than LA Knight.
Okay.
I don't see it. I really
I
don't.
was just wondering about. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't
I
think.
can't see him fighting Brock Lesnar. I can't see him fighting Roman Reigns. He has fought Roman Reigns and lost horribly. Even Seth Rollins, like he's just not on their level.
Um, yeah, I think the best part of that whole segment was Bron Breakker saying, "You're 47 and you're 40. What are you gonna do to me?" Uh, Judgment Day are backstage, and Finn Balor has Liv Morgan's bat. Dom walks in with El Grande Americano. Finn talks to Dom in private, and Judgment Day doesn't really want El Grande there. And Dom says that he's using him to help him win the AAA championship at Triple Mania, which I think is this Saturday on YouTube.
It is, yeah.
Um, so we do see AJ Styles and Dragon Lee teaming up against El Grande Americano and the Intercontinental Champion Dominik Mysterio, and I thought this was a really impressive tag match. It was pretty long. We saw a lot of action in this match. Dominik tosses Dragon Lee into the steps. AJ lands a Pele kick to Dominik Mysterio. Mysterio puts on a mask, and then Dominik and El Grande team up on Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee lands a monkey flip to Dominik into a Styles clash, which was really cool. And then El Grande pushes Dragon Lee off the top rope. AJ lands an inverted DDT to Grande. Grande grabs metal but drops it to Dominik, who puts it in his mask that Dominik is wearing. And then Dominik headbutts AJ, allowing El Grande to score the pinfall. Dirty Dominik steals the victory again. I thought this was good. I like this match. I popped for it. It was long. It made me a bit excited for Triple Mania. Dom stealing the victory again. Good stuff, I thought. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I thought it was funny that El Grande Americano was like fishing around in his ball sack for a piece of metal, and then Dom put it in his mask. I think Dominik is going to win the AAA title this week, and I think he is going to be double champion.
Yeah, I mean, he should win it because AAA is now working for WWE.
Yeah,
so-
it would be really good for them, and everybody's going to watch. I think this pay-per-view will probably be really big. Besides their one that they did against like the WWE guys, I think that a lot of people are going to watch Dominik try to win this title.
Sami Zayn asks Sheamus backstage not to get involved in his match against Rusev. Sheamus promises, but he will fight him after the match. We get Sheamus versus Rusev here. Sheamus lands an exploder into the corner, sets up a haluva kick, but United States champion Solo Sikoa and the MFTs attack Sami. After Sami wins by DQ, Tala Tonga lands a big boot, and then Sheamus hits Rusev with a high knee. They brawl into the crowd, and that's the end of that segment. I didn't care for this. I said earlier when we were covering SmackDown, I figured Solo and Sami were going to have a storyline here.
It was a way to put Sami in Canada.
Yeah, but it was kind of a botch to me. I didn't care. Care about. I still don't care about Sheamus and Rusev. It doesn't matter to me. But we'll see what happens.
We will.
We get a promo from Bronson Reed. He talks about hurting Seth Rollins and earning Rollins' respect. He doesn't want Roman Reigns' respect, though. He says, "I was like a schoolyard bully. You need to acknowledge your tribal thief." And then he screams tsunami. So, interesting promo there from Reed, calling out Roman Reigns. The Kabuki Warriors offer to be in Iyo Sky's corner for her match, but she denies and says she wants to go it alone. So we have Iyo Sky versus Roxanne Perez with Raquel Rodriguez. Iyo lands a missile drop kick for a 2 count. Roxanne hits a lion saw and applies a crossface. The end of the match comes, and it was a good match. Iyo hits, there's a couple of things. Iyo hits an over the moonsault, but her foot catches Roxanne on the face, and that looked really bad. The Kabuki Warriors come out, who try to save Iyo from Raquel, but Iyo accidentally runs into them, and Roxanne rolls up Iyo, holding the tights, and Roxanne defeats former World Women's Champion. This was good. I popped. It was a good match. The Kabuki Warriors, Asuka's definitely going to do her own thing, it looks like, and this team is going to end. But what'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was good, but Iyo kind of made a dumb decision because, she's, I want to do it alone, but it's not about doing it alone. You're going to have the numbers against you. You're not going to beat two people. And, Roxanne has Raquel Rodriguez out there. She doesn't have, just anybody. She has somebody who's like in a brawl with Rhea Ripley. So she should have had them in her corner, not to help her, but in case Roxanne got involved. And,
Raquel.
I think Asuka kind of took it the wrong way. And
what
I don't
about-
know if we'll see a heel turn on Asuka, but, maybe we'll see something between.
What about backstage, though? We see Iyo yelling at Asuka, then Asuka pushes her.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Asuka and Iyo.
Next, we have Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch defeating Maxxine Dupri with Natalya and Akira Tozawa. Becky bullies Maxxine and yells at her to get out of the ring. Maxxine gets some offense with a stunner, but Becky lands a Bex Exploder 3 times and applies a disarmer, and Maxxine taps out, and Becky retains. After Natty gets in the ring, and Becky lands a big boot to Natalya from behind, and Becky is just being a bully. I don't understand where Nikki Bella was here. She had a whole situation with Becky last week, and then she just disappeared. But we'll see. Maybe they're still going to fight in Clash of Paris. But I think we'll get Natalya and Becky.
Did they make that match for sure?
No.
Okay, yeah, I'm hoping we'll see Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch. But I'd also like to see Natalya too and Becky. So, maybe she'll. I'm sure Natalya. I'm sure the Bella, Nikki Bella will be the headlining match and have her at Clash of Paris. But maybe we'll get Natalya and Becky on Monday.
The Vision are backstage, and Seth says that he's leaving. Everything up to the Bronze tonight, and he's going to go on the jet and leave. We all know he's not really leaving. We get an interesting promo from Bayley. She talks about being by herself. Everything has gotten her nowhere. She hasn't felt proud of herself, and it's her fault. And then she starts laughing and moving. Well, you hear laughing in the background. She's moving her hands by her face, kind of like Victoria did in 2002. So we're getting a crazy Bayley.
She's almost pulling some birth. Some I can't remember her name. Naomi, yeah. She's kind of doing that crazy but kind of a little more realistic, cuckoo. So
Stephanie Vakir tells Iyo Sky that she's not the only one promised the title match. Rhea then apologizes to Iyo about everything going on and says that the Kabuki Warriors should have listened to her, and Iyo tells her to stay out of it. So we're definitely going to see Iyo and the Kabuki Warriors team up down the line, it seems here.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we have LA Knight and CM Punk versus Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker with Paul Heyman in their corner. So CM Punk and LA Knight against Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. We see Bron Breakker's famous move, the clothesline off the apron to LA Knight over the desk. And then Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker land the Steinery Climber LA Knight. CM Punk hits Bron Breakker with a flying elbow drop and goes for a go to sleep. But then Seth Rollins runs out and attacks CM Punk. So Punk and LA Knight get the DQ victory here. After the Vision group attacks until Jey Uso runs out with his steel chair and makes the save. And then Raw General Manager Adam Pearce comes out and books World Champion Seth Rollins versus Jey Uso versus LA Knight versus CM Punk for the World Championship at Clash in Paris. After that, LA Knight, CM Punk, and Jey Uso starts to argue and brawl amongst themselves. And then the Vision comes in. Braun spears LA Knight on the floor. And then Bronson Reed destroys both Jey Uso and LA Knight with a tsunami. And then the Vision holds CM Punk, and Seth says, as long as I breathe, you won't be champion. And then Rollins lays out Punk with the stomp. So the Vision again standing tall here on Raw. but we know Seth Rollins has that big fatal 4-way at Clash in Paris. What did you think of this segment and the Clash in Paris title match?
I think it was okay, but I think that without a doubt, Seth is going to retain because where it's a fatal 4-way, his boys can come down. So, and you know they're going to. So, it's just going to string CM Punk along a little further. I think it'll come down to Rollins and Punk, and then Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed will come out.
Yeah, because it is a failed 4-way, so no disqualification there. Are you excited for this match for Clash in Paris? I mean, it's this and John Cena and Logan Paul so far.
Yeah, they said all right, so WWE just made up a PLE for September. There wasn't supposed to be one, and they're putting it on the same night as AEW's, and they wanted it to be pretty stacked. So apparently, we're gonna see Cena and Brock that night. So that's why we're getting Cena and Logan this
no one gives a flying
but I think it'll be a good match. It'll be, it'll be interesting. It's all for, do I wish that somebody besides LA Knight was in it? Yeah. No pun intended. I wish it was Roman in it. But can't always get.
And we know that Seth isn't going to lose, so we already know that.
Yeah.
What was your favorite moment from this episode of Raw? Was there anything you liked, or it was kind of basic?
Yeah, it was all right.
I like Bayley's promo.
I was just gonna say I like Bayley. I also liked what happened with Becky. That was all right.
The AJ Styles tag match was decent.
It was.
Iyo and Asuka are going to start feuding soon, it looks like. So some stuff was getting laid out for us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're on the road to Clash in Paris. We've got SmackDown, Raw, NXT Heatwave coming up, AEW Forbidden Door London, AAA Triple Mania is this Saturday. So to catch up on all that information, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We also got the Attitude Years Season 3 coming to an end, so make sure you check that out. Until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.